Welcome back to Ask Dr. Clarke. Today's question from a YouTube subscriber is, what do you do when you're married to an addict? Sadly, a very common scenario. Now, before I read the question and give my answer, if you're looking for answers to your marital crisis, you've come to the right place. Go to my website, David E. Clarke, Clarke with an E, David E. Clarke, PhD.com. You'll find my books, my podcasts, my videos, and my phone advice service. And you can help us save more marriages by subscribing to my YouTube channel, tapping the like button, and leaving a rating, a review, and a comment. That helps us help more people. Now, today's question. What advice would you give a spouse married to an addict? My husband is an alcoholic and is struggling in his recovery. Very common scenario. Okay, your spouse has an addiction. In this case, it happens to be alcohol. Could be drugs, recreational or prescription, could be sex, could be gambling. The pre-step is the addict getting into recovery. You don't do marriage counseling at this first stage. A lot of couples make that mistake. A lot of counselors make that mistake. Not a marriage case at this point in time. It's an individual issue of recovery. If the addict is completely broken and willing to do whatever it takes to heal, you can consider one of these rehab centers if the addiction is that serious. But make it clear as the spouse, you will only support and pay for one rehab center. I have spouses over the years have paid for 2, 3, 4, 5 rehabs. You know what? No, one's enough. Don't waste your entire retirement savings on that. And you only allow the addict to go to a rehab center if he's absolutely willing to work. Broken beyond belief, sackcloth and ashes, the whole nine, and he's going to work. Otherwise, don't waste your time. Now, the addict does individual therapy. Either during or after the rehab, if there's a rehab. He does individual therapy with a Christian licensed therapist. This is not the case for a biblical counselor or a pastor or a life coach. We have to have someone that's trained, licensed, with expertise and experience in your spouse's particular addiction. And not all counselors are trained in addictive work. You both attend the first session and you get regular updates from the therapist. First session, you want, as this other spouse, you want to feel like you're comfortable with this therapist, man or woman, and they know what they're doing and they're going to have a clear plan of action. You want somebody that has a program of action. If you see Dr. Dave Clarke, you're going to have homework, you're going to have clear steps. That's the kind of therapist you want. Not, well, how was your week this week? How are you doing on your addiction? That's a waste of time. Clear steps of progress. So your spouse will sign a release in that first session if you like the therapist. And you'll get regular updates from the therapist. And the addict, your husband, will give you updates always. He'll tell you everything that's going on in his therapy. The addict is also in a group with others who have his addiction. The group process is powerful. I've seen God use that many times. In this case, it'll be AA, or it could be Celebrate Recovery, a Christ-centered group. He'll get a sponsor and accountability partner from the group. The addict is in a spiritual growth recovery process. Vitally important, of course. Without God, he's not changing. Church attendance every time the doors are open. Small group Bible study, men's group, critically important. He'll tell the guys in the group what he's struggling with. They'll pray for him. They'll support him. He can get more accountability from the guys in the group, of course. And from that group, probably going to get a specific personal accountability partner for his spiritual life. Now, once the addict is in solid recovery, and this will take 5 or 6 months at least, then couple counseling can begin. And the first thing you do in couple counseling is heal from the pain and damage the addict caused with his addiction. My book, What to Do When Your Spouse Says, I Don't Love You Anymore, would be perfect for this. This is the first phase. Help me heal from what you've done to me in our marriage. Then you build the new marriage. Once you've cleared that, that's foundational. Then once you've healed from the wounds, now you can build the brand new marriage. And that, you'll be shocked to know, Dr. Clarke has a book for that too. I Don't Want a Divorce, Step-by-Step Rebuilding a Broken Marriage. The addictions trashed your first marriage. That one's done. You're now building a second marriage, of course, between the two of you. Now, if the addict will not do his addiction work, this lady's indicating that he's struggling in his addiction recovery. Look, I don't know what that means, but if it means he's not getting it done and there's relapse after relapse, you know what? No. Now we're going to have to go to tough love. Get my book, My Spouse Wants Out. If your addict is simply not going to change, and do his work, get My Spouse Wants Out and follow those principles. Brutal, tough love, but it's necessary now. You don't start with that, but now we're going to have to do it. Take secret steps to get ready financially. And when you're ready, tell the addict, I'm done. I'm through with you. This marriage is over, and make him believe it. The truth is, this is his last chance to break and repent and win you back. We want him believing you're done. Follow the Matthew 18, 15 through 17 steps of confrontation. The book will explain this. And the final step, of course, is physical separation. All right. And then God will have to guide you regarding a possible divorce scenario. So those are the steps. Hope the addict gets his work done. But those are the steps if you're married to an addict.